Ladies and gentlemen, today is the launch of the final season of Modern Warfare 2 and this year of Warzone. It was Warzone 2, it's not. Anyway, the final season of Modern Warfare 2. So Season 6 comes with a bunch of new things, and I have to say, I've skimmed through the patch notes. They are absolutely massive. So of course, what I'm going to do is go through, break down the most important points. There's lots of weapon balancing, gameplay changes, things along those lines. Just kind of go through and point out the ones that you need to know moving forward, to know the most and play the best that you possibly can throughout Season 6. So that is exactly what we're going to do. But first, let me quickly tell you about today's video sponsor. Today's video is sponsored by a friend of the channel. You may have heard of them, the Ridge Wallet. And if you don't know what they are, essentially, this is the Ridge Wallet. It is small, sleek, compact, super durable, and all you have to do to use it is push down at the bottom. Your cards pop up at the top. They're super easy to grab. Now, it can fit up to 12 cards. It's super easy to fit in your pocket. Gone are the days of having those big, bulky things making you look absolutely ridiculous. And speaking of which, it comes in a wide variety of styles and colors, so you can always find something that matches your personality. But that's not the only thing they have. They also have the Ridge key case, which essentially works exactly the same, but for keys. You push down at the bottom, your keys pop up at the top. Once again, you don't have to walk around with that jingling in your pocket sounding just completely silly. But for a limited time, there's actually a way to turn this into, well, this. That is the Hennessy Bronco Velociraptor. And here's exactly how you can do that for yourself. You can actually win for free by just going over and registering on their website without spending a single dollar. Or if you go over to the website and spend some money, for every dollar you spend, you get one extra entry into the draw with a maximum of 1,000 entries. Speaking of which, if you buy any of the custom Hennessy products, they come with up to 1,000 entries as well. But get it while it's hot, because this deal is only going on till September 30th. If you want to go and check it out, click the link down in the description. And on top of that, if you use code INK at checkout, you're going to save yourself 10% on your order. It also gives you 10 bonus entries as well. And of course, get yourself the chance to win that vehicle or $75,000 cash. So check out that link down in the description. And thank you, Ridge, for sponsoring the video. All right, so here we are, the Season 6 patch notes. As we know, we have Spawn coming along. This comes out today, September 27th. I believe it is at noon Eastern Standard Time, so just around the corner. But as far as what you need to know real quickly, the overview of the season, the 27th, that is today, we get Season 6. October 5th, we get the Call of Duty Next live stream. Starting October 6th, we have the beta for PlayStation exclusive and the crossplay one the following weekend. The Haunting in-game event starts October 17th. That's the day after the beta ends. Campaign comes out November 2nd, and then November 10th is the full launch. So that is the timeline that we are kind of looking at over the next coming months. Then we have the Battle Pass. As far as the Battle Pass goes, I'm going to have a separate video going over this like I do with every single season. I didn't last season. I was away, but we're going to continue it this season. You guys tend to like those videos, so we're not going to go too far in depth with that. And Black Cell, we will talk about all of that when we get to that video. However, as far as the new operators go for this season, we have Valeria, and this one is weird. She's like half human, half robot. It's very strange. She also has a robot dog. It's really going far into the future. We also have Spawn. Of course, this is kind of the theme of this season. Then later on, we have Lilith and Inarius coming from Diablo 4. We also have Ash Williams from Evil Dead 2. We also have, probably saying this, but Alucard from Hellsing. As you can see, a lot of these, especially with the Haunting event, are going to be licensed operators. We also have Skeletor from Masters of the Universe, which, speaking of which, this brings us to the Season 6 event. So this is the Haunting. It does not start until October 17th, so a little weird that it's not starting at the beginning of the season, but makes sense with Halloween and the timeline that we just talked about. If you want more details on this, I had a separate video on the Haunting event. It sounds really fun. It sounds like the best event that we're going to be getting overall within Modern Warfare 2, so I'm looking forward to that. But they don't go too much in depth with it here because we kind of know what's going on with it. And it doesn't directly have to do with the beginning of Season 6. Speaking of which, the new weapons for Season 6 are the TR-76 Geist. It is an assault rifle. This one is essentially a harder hitting, slower firing assault rifle. We don't have too many of those in the game, so it should be interesting. We also have the ISO 9mm. This is a very high fire rate, high maneuverability, not really a lot of range weapon. So generally when they release those ones, those do really well in Warzone, up close and personal. So we'll have to wait to see how this does. We also have the dual commas. This is the melee weapon, of course, and those are all obtainable via the Battle Pass. There's also a new attachment for the Lockwood 300. We have the Maelstrom dual triggers. It says a cold forged dual triggers that fires both rounds simultaneously with devastating results. That's a pretty cool attachment. It's going to be probably a long one-shot kill. It'll be interesting to see how it plays, but of course you have that longer reload, so you got to make up for it. Now, we get into the weapon balancing. If you know how this works, I try to go through it as quickly as possible, saying whether a weapon is a buff or a nerf. And the way this is going to start is with Modern Warfare 2 only and then move into Warzone. So first of all, the Lockman Shroud has reduced damage in Modern Warfare 2 only. The mini-back actually got buffed in both the damage range and the close distance damage, so big buff there. The Cast-Off 7.62, I think, overall got a nerf. However, the mid-damage range got buffed. However, the close damage and on top of that, the close damage distance got reduced. So I think overall a nerf. The FR Advancer, this one got a damage range buff. Cronin Squall got increased damage range. The Lockman 7.62 got increased damage range. The SO14 got increased damage range. And the TAC V got increased damage range. So all of those are buffs. All Modern Warfare 2 only. The Bryson 800 got a nerf, Expedite 12 got a buffed, and the MX Guardian got a nerf, all in Modern Warfare 2 only. The Marksman rifles are the final ones that got updated within Modern Warfare 2. Tempest Torrent got a nerf, the Lockwood MK2 got a buff, the SAB 50 overall got a buff, and the SPR 208 got a small buff as well. Now, this moves us into Warzone. The Chimera is going to do more damage to the legs. The FR Advancer is going to do more damage to the limbs. The ISO Hemlock overall got a nerf to its multipliers to the neck and upper torso, so a nerf overall for that one. Overall, the Cast-Off 7.62 is going to have a damage nerf, so it's going to be worse overall, but they did increase close damage range, but overall this is a nerf. The M13B got quite a big nerf. The M13C got a little bit of a buff. The M16 as well got a buff. Cronin Squall got a mid damage range nerf. The FTAC Recon got a multiplier buff, so that's just a small one. The Lockman 7.62 got a few different buffs, most of them to multipliers, but also the close damage range was increased as well. The SO14 seemingly got a large buff to all of its damage ranges, similarly with the TAC V as well as the close damage as a whole getting buffed too. Moving on to handguns, the Basilisk got a damage range buff for pretty much everything here. The FTAC Siege got a couple multipliers decreased. Overall, I think the GS Magna got a nerf. However, the close mid damage did get an increase. However, the close damage got decreased, so it depends on what range you're shooting at. The P890, you got overall quite a large buff. Similarly with the X12 as well. However, the 9mm Daemon, I feel like I always say that wrong. Its multipliers got decreased, so nerf overall, and the 50GS got a buff to its overall damage as well. Quickly through the shotguns, we have the Bryson 800 with a small buff. We have the Bryson 890 with a large nerf. We have the Lockwood 300. This one is a buff overall, and the MX Guardian with quite a large buff here. Again, quickly through the snipers, the Carrick 300. This one overall got quite a large buff. The Signal 50 overall a nerf, and the SPX 80 overall a very large buff. Damage ranges, close damage, mid-range damage, upper torso multiplier as well. So big buff for that one there. Some machine guns, the Bass P got a multiplier buff. The Fennec 45 is an interesting one. I think overall this is a buff. The head multiplier and the close range damage got increased, and that's what you're going to do most of the time. However, the neck damage multiplier is decreased and the upper torso multiplier is decreased. So if you're accurate and you're up close, Fennec is going to be really good. However, the other things got a little bit of buff, so strange balancing for that one. The Lockman Shroud overall got a buff. However, the semi-auto damage got a nerf. The mini-back mid damage is increased, so overall a buff for that one. And the MX9, you have your multipliers increased, so overall a buff there. We also have, of course, our bug fixes, and that brings us to an end of the weapon balancing. Hopefully I got through that quickly enough for you. I know it can be kind of dry. As far as progression goes, this is actually interesting for once. I don't normally talk about this every single season, but the final prestige, level 1250, which I am nowhere near. This is the final leveling for this game, which is interesting because it means that this leveling is not going to carry over into Modern Warfare 3, which lends the question what happens with the Warzone level moving forward. We don't know as of yet. Maybe we find out at Call of Duty next. Now, there's a ton of bug fixes. We are not going to go through all of these because they are very boring. Spec Ops bug fixes, and then we move into multiplayer. So starting off with our new maps, we have La Casa. This is a core 6v6 map taking place in Las Almas. I have to say this one looks pretty cool based off of the images that I've seen. We have the Coro Village. This is, of course, a remake of a Call of Duty 2 map called Tujane, all the way back from 2005, which is pretty cool. Then we get into our gunfight maps. King, this one's coming back from Modern Warfare 2019. And on top of that, we have Fight. This is a new one. It looks a lot like Shoot House, but smaller, so pretty straightforward there as well. We also have bug fixes and ranked play. I'm not going to go through everything that's going on with ranked play. I just don't normally cover it on my channel. However, I'll leave a link to the patch notes down below if you want to check it out. Now, Battle Royale, Resurgence, Plunder, Lockdown. So they only give us 1 week of playlists here because I have a feeling it's going to change throughout the betas. It's going to change with the Haunting event. So they're only giving us 1 week here. So this week. We have Battle Royale, Ranked El Mazrah, Trios, El Mazrah Quads, Vondel Duos, and Map Rotation Solos. The rotations reset every 15 minutes, so keep that in mind. With Resurgence, we have Vondel Quads, and then we have Map Rotation, Solos, Duos, and Trios. We have Armored Royale on El Mazrah Quads and Plunder El Mazrah Quads as well. As far as gameplay changes, the El Mazrah Champions quest has a new reward called the Flow Through. It's a weapon blueprint. Signals Intelligence contract has been re-enabled. Supply boxes loot behavior. We've improved the behavior and visibility of additional loot that drops on the ground out of supply boxes. Strange one. This is like something they worked on at the very beginning of Warzone 2, but here we are. There's just some changes with buy stations for the medic plate carrier, which cost 4,000, and the reinforcement flare price has been increased to $7,000 from 5,000. So that's actually quite a big nerf to that. I don't know if you consider that a nerf, but you know what I'm saying. Got more bug fixes and then Warzone rank play, which again, I'm not going to go over in too much depth here. Then we have DMZ. Essentially what they say with DMZ is just get ready for that mid-season update when the Haunting event comes, because that's going to be a lot of fun. We'll have more details in the future. But for you DMZ players, there are some adjustments that are going to have a big effect on you. These are mainly the buy station prices. So Muni boxes go from 1,000 to 5,000. That's big. Gas max from 2,000 to 3,500. Medium backpack up $1,500. Large backpack up $20,000. 3-plate carrier up $30,000. JLTV airdrops, those are up to 75,000. And then this is where things just get insane. UAV from 12,000 to 100,000. Advanced UAV from 12,000 to 200,000, precision airstrike up to 30,000, cluster strike 30,000, and revive pistol 10,000. What it seems like they're doing here is trying to make it so that you can't just buy everything. You kind of have to loot for the good things in game. I don't know if that's a good thing, but holy price increase on UAVs. Just a quick addition from me editing the video. One thing that I missed in the patch notes is that assimilation has changed. There's no more 6-man squads within DMZ. They've capped it at 4. People have been asking for this for a while, so that is a good change in my books. And that's essentially it. That sums it up for multiplayer, for Warzone, everything in between. We have our new maps coming in multiplayer today, where we have bug fixes, we have weapon changes coming to Warzone and Modern Warfare 2. We have our new battle pass, which we'll dive into later today. And later on in the season, we are getting that Haunting event, which I can't wait for. We'll cover that in depth moving forward. But for now, that's everything you need to know about Season 6. If you haven't already, be sure to go check out Ridge. Once again, they are doing a giveaway on that Bronco if you want to win it. The rest of this promotion, for every dollar you spend, they are actually going to double the amount of entries that they give you. And if you buy any of those Hennessy products, they are actually going to give you 10 times the amount of entries that you would get otherwise. So go till September 30th. Check out Ridge. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button, subscribe, turn notifications on, all of that jazz. Thank you so much for watching. We'll have a second video coming out later today, so stay tuned for that. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Until next time, peace out.
We are reaching for the stars, but we're made